Live. Bam! Meeting is now streaming live.
All
Look at
right.
that. We are live. All right. Let's get this Facebook thing going. Refresh it a little bit. See what's up. Make sure we're going. Oh, there you are. Patrick Spano, live in the flesh. Hey, what's up, World Wrestling Live? What's up, people out there? I know I'm not doing as many of these a week. We'll get back on it a little bit as the school year comes to an end and I get some more time, but I started working again a little bit in the morning, so I got some time. But I'm here with another great Florida wrestler and what did they say? Judokin? How do you say
Judoka.
that? Judoka.
You say.
Great wrestler and great judoka. If you don't know, he was the 07 Florida State champion out of Chamberlain High School. He's also been a judo national champion. He was also the Pan Am runner-up 1 year. He wrestled at King University. He's been coaching down in Brazil, right? A Brazilian top team.
Mm-hmm.
And a bunch of other shit. We'll go over it. We'll have a good time. If you know him, great. If you don't know him, he's here. But he's back in Florida. He's opened up a great club down there in Tampa called Samurai Wrestling and Judo Club. Awesome, man. I posted something today, and Mr. Maldonado posted about G. We're planning to go there every Friday night. I think he came in one Friday already.
Yeah, they just came in this past Friday.
Yeah, Mr. Maldonado, if you're listening, man, get some more kids in there Friday night. Add some judo to their wrestling game. But hey, man, we'll get into all your new club and everything. But first of all, great to meet you. I'm honored, another Florida guy, another great fighter. How you doing?
Having me on. No, I'm doing great. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, I was excited. So I got hit up by your boy Leggett. By the way, he coaches at Scorpion. So
yeah,
there between him and Maldonado and everybody, they'll be able to kind of help you out, just like everybody's helping Jamie out and those guys grow their club over there. So, you like to see in this wrestling world, hopefully people are helping each other grow and get better, because it's about the kids. And if we can get all different technicians and coaches around them, it makes them better, right?
Yeah, it's all about giving back and growing wrestling, because obviously, our not just wrestling, but all combat sports have a lot of room to grow. So, and I feel like now they're starting to take hold and really have like a strong base that they can grow from.
And I haven't been around the sport that long, and I was telling you kind of how I got involved in it through my son and doing this. But and I think I was briefly asking you. I mean, since you were a kid, it was judo and wrestling, right?
Yeah, well, I started judo when I was 9 years old, and I started actually gymnastics when I was really young. I started gymnastics about the age of 5, and I was competing and doing gymnastics, or training pretty hardcore for a 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old, and competing all the time, and then got to judo, and I was really strong. I could really grab that gi, from hanging off of rings and stuff like that all the time. And it was cool. I stayed with gymnastics, off and on a little bit more, but then I just started down the judo path. And then, I made it to high school, and I was kind of hesitant to wrestle. Honestly, I was just kind of like, I don't know if I want to wrestle. And then, my dad really was pushing me into it, just because he knew about the opportunities. And how much more it had opportunities than judo, especially in that day.
To get an education, right? To get into college and get an education, right?
Yeah, exactly. So he pushed me into it, and I had some friends that had joined the team. So I was like, all right, I guess I'll try it. And then, I ended up really, and I love judo still, but I ended up loving wrestling more than judo.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, so you and speaking of that stuff, I obviously my short stint in this sport so far, but I've seen a lot of people coming to wrestling from a judo foundation, from a judo background as a young boy or girl. How much do you think judo positively affects your wrestling?
I mean, judo positively affects your wrestling, 1,000%. Let's say it teaches you to move your bodies and to in a different way, and in some cases do like the same types of techniques in a different way as well. But as far as positively affecting your judo, it's when I first got there in ninth grade, I couldn't shoot, but I could do inside trips, I could do front trips, I could do head throws, I could do hip tosses, stuff like that. So I never wrestled a JV match when I first started. I went straight on to varsity and like had a winning record. And if you know anything about that region that has Chamberlain, let's say it's really more known for Brandon and Lake Gibson and all these schools being in it. So I ended up making it to regionals. I went like 1 and 2 as a freshman, but like got killed by like some seniors or something like that. So it's a huge advantage to get into judo before. I mean, any type of grappling really, but judo is the one that translates the best, especially with all the throws.
Yeah, that's what I see in here, and we see some some young men and women out there that are girls that are doing really, really well, thanks to that background. So man, so anyway, you wrestled at high school here in Florida. You get the state champion, man. That's awesome. And then you're still competing in judo. Was that around the same time when you competed at the national championships in the Pan Am? Was that around your senior year as well, or was that after?
That was a little bit before actually. Because it was junior Pan Ams. I was a junior national champion like after ninth grade, between ninth and 10th grade there. And then I got asked to be on the junior Pan Am team right after my sophomore year. Or really, they called me like, I don't know, like 2 weeks before districts or something when I was a sophomore. And they said, like, we want you to be on the junior Pan Am team. And I was like, yeah, great, of course. I'd love to do that. And it was, I don't know, 3 weeks after states or something like that. So I did, my sophomore year, I ended up qualifying for states. And I remember my judo coach being like, you need to be doing more judo. And I was just like, it's wrestling season. And like, I'm still like, I may have junior Pan Ams in like 3 weeks after, but like, you got me like once a week right now. I got wrestling season still. But I did well. And I went down to Venezuela when I was 15 for that. And that was an awesome experience. And ended up losing to a guy from Brazil in the finals. But then after that, the next summer, let's say, I still competed again and I didn't win, but I got third or second or something. I don't even remember that next summer. But the summer after that, my brother and I were going to be in the same weight class. So I was like, you know what? This is going to be my senior year. I'm just going to wrestle and concentrate on wrestling this summer. And you
paid off, right?
Yeah. I'd like to think so.
So Coach, my man, Coach Avramitis, you know him.
What school?
Coach Avramitis. He coaches out at Palm Harbor.
Uh-huh.
So he said, ask him about calling out Nick King for having ringworm.
When was this? Oh my God. I'm about to get some stories I don't remember.
He said, ask him about regionals and calling out Nick King for having ringworm. Come on, Coach Avramitis, help us out here.
I'm having trouble remembering this. That's why that sounds like something I would do. Look at that.
Look at that, and you advance. Coach, Mr. Maldonado said judo is definitely a positive and influential art that complements wrestling. So, yeah, man. So you end up at King University, great college.
Yes.
Now, King, if I remember it, I know there's two of them, but the one you were at was the one in Tennessee, right?
Yes. There's King's College in Pennsylvania. And then there's King, well, it was college. Now it's King University there in Bristol.
That's where Julie Salata was, right? Or
Julia still coaches there.
I think Julia's still there, yeah. Jim Mayer, what is your youngest student? What times do you teach the youngest? and would love to have my grandson start martial arts with you.
That's awesome. I mean, right now we have the kids class from 3 to 4, and then 4 to 5:30 for the high schoolers.
Nice. Coach Thomas Sr. said if you'd like to come do a free clinic at Auburndale, at his school up there in Lakeland, Polk County, kind of get your name out there
Yeah.
with those kids. He said he just said hit him up, right? Coach Thomas, he can just hit you up, private message you, DM you.
Yes.
Set something up. He's a real nice guy. He coaches football and wrestling over there. He's doing really well. He just took back over at his alma mater, so I believe it's his alma mater, and I've had him on. Awesome guy. Yeah, so cool. Katie Shuffert. So many great Florida wrestlers went to King.
Yeah, no, I mean, they recruit hard out of King, and I'm glad that, I mean, Jason Mormon is the head coach of the girls team, and he, before they had the girls team, is when I got there, and Coach Jason, or Coach Mormon, JM, as we call him, was like, he recruited me, and he was my coach, and Coach Nate was my coach too, but like, I was like, when he started the girls program, I was like, well, Jason's not gonna be able to coach me now, like. and the girls got a great coach, and that's why they're national champions some years.
Yeah, I remember talking to Coach Salado when I had her on, and man, is she focused. Like, she would tell me, she's like, I still want to beat the girls up the hill.
Yeah, no. Julia was there for, I think, 2 of the years I was there, so I know Julia very well. She's awesome, and she's an awesome wrestler.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool. So yeah, I mean, it paid off, and then you started to travel a little bit. I know we were talking a little bit, but so talk about. It seems like you made a great transition into coaching and got on board with one of the. I know. Well, we know the American top teams, but you got on with the Brazilian top team.
Yeah, when I went down to Brazil,
Brazil. That seems pretty cool. I said, getting a coach down in Brazil. That seems pretty cool.
Yeah, I was very excited about it, like being able to coach for, like a legendary MMA team, and they're one of the ones that, one of the original teams from, the Pride and Vale Tudo and from the UFC when it first started and stuff, like some of these original clubs. And it was really cool because I got to work with a bunch of professional fighters and, coach the, wrestling. It wasn't just wrestling, it was wrestling for MMA. So that's like, it's a whole different animal when you can punch someone.
Yeah, we hear these guys all the time. Like I saw Omi Acosta post a picture the other day of him in a ring as like a young kid after I and he said, the first and last time I ever did this. Yeah, getting punched in the face isn't fun, right?
I mean, yeah, it's definitely not the same, I think wrestlers are well suited to make a transition into MMA and stuff like that. But there is definitely a big difference between getting slammed on the mat and getting punched in your face. Like
a little bit.
100%.
Mr. Mike Joyce just said Spano will be great for the Tampa Bay area and Florida.
Joyce is the man, and in my opinion, I mean, Coach Joyce is the best wrestling coach that you'll find in Tampa Bay, and if not anywhere in Florida. I mean,
great guy.
Yeah, produced a lot of state champions.
Well, it's good, man. It's good. So who was I don't know, biggest name you got to coach down there?
In Brazil, I got to coach a guy named Davi Ramos, or Davi Ramos, we would say it. He's a guy. He was a world champion in jiu-jitsu, gi and no gi, and he fights in the UFC. And he was fighting against this guy named Islam Makovic, who's like fights for the AKA out in like where Khabib and like Daniel Cormier and all these guys train out in California. So I got to do like his be the wrestling coach for his camp, which was really cool. And I was with him about 2 days a week, and one of the days was me like actually coaching him. The other day was me just fighting him against the cage, and like or wrestling him against the cage more than not MMA sparring.
Yeah, just
Thankfully.
teaching them, getting them how to get out of it, how to block, how to down block, right, and do all that stuff.
Well, I mean, that was one of the days that, like I said, the other day was us just wrestling on the cage. There was no technique in that. And I'll tell you what, I first started doing like actually training MMA stuff when I got down there. And I mean, I had already done jujitsu and I started like dabbling in kickboxing before I went, but like I went, pretty head in when I was there in Brazil. And I'll tell you what, cage wrestling is not regular wrestling. It's like, it's way different when you can't sprawl.
Well, and like I've heard them say on air before, it's a lot easier to get away from a wrestler when you have a fence to get up on.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
In the middle of a mat, if you get double legged or you get whatever, you're going down. I mean, there's no fence to catch you. There's nothing to help you get up, right? So there's some positives and negatives to it, right?
Yeah, and that's kind of like a lot of times, at least when they first immediately start, like jujitsu guys have always kind of been a little more connected to MMA, being in the same gyms and stuff like that. So they're kind of more used to the cage wrestling than wrestlers when wrestlers first get there, of course. Of course, you take a good wrestler, you teach him how to wrestle on the cage and he'll kill everyone.
Well, I mean, wrestling is the foundation, right? And now you're seeing a lot of MMA guys learning wrestling, right? Because they just came up doing whatever, judo or jiu-jitsu or whatever. And then they were like, well, I need to incorporate this because that's the foundation of everything, right?
Yeah. And I mean, it dictates where the entire fight takes place. If you want to go and, use your jiu-jitsu or your submissions on the ground, you have to take them down. If you want to keep the fight on your feet and stick with your boxing or kickboxing game, you can't get taken down. So
you got to figure that out too, right?
Yeah,
it's awesome, man. So listen, has it always been kind of one of your dreams to come back home and open up your own gym? I know you've gone out, you've traveled the world, you've traveled the country, you've learned a lot of different. We know what you were in wrestling. So you were a college wrestler, you were a judo All-American, you're a judo national champ, and then you're a judo black belt, you're a jiu-jitsu purple belt. So I mean, now was it time where you going, man, okay, I'm ready now. I've trained myself to a point where now I'm ready to give back to come home, give back to the younger generation?
I mean, I've always thought about having my own club for sure. And I don't know, just kind of never really had known how to do it. And I got home and I started talking with some people about starting some clubs, and the pieces fell into place. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go. Like, I have the opportunity to start my club at Kaizen. Great guy Vince McGinnis is the owner of Kaizen, and it's like primarily a kickboxing school. It has MMA and yoga too. And
now they got wrestling and judo.
Yeah, and now we got wrestling and judo. So he, gave me the opportunity to use the mat on the hours that he's not already, doing all of his kickboxing and MMA stuff. So it's a great opportunity, and I was like, I have to run with this. I love coaching. I think that teaching, and I'm also an English teacher. But still, I teach online. I'm not in the school right now or anything like that. But
you get there, right?
I teach online. So teaching is the best thing that I'm good at, or the thing I'm best at in my life.
Yeah, man. So honestly, if you guys don't know yet, I know we've had some people that have already been starting to come into your room, right? I did mention Mr. Maldonado. I mentioned Coach Leggett. I'm sure he's going to start bringing some kids over to you if he hasn't already. Yeah. And then you obviously have friends in this community, I'm sure, that are going to want to bring their kids in to see you.
Yeah, we're going to have some. I would say tomorrow we're actually probably going to have a pretty good practice. We're going to have, Maldonado will be there. We're going to have the Berkeley kids are going to come over. Santos is going to send them. I talked to Coach Brocklin over at Sickles the other day, and he's got like a good young gung-ho group. And I've been friends with, Coach Brockland, Coach Briscoe, the whole Sickles bunch, since I was, in high school.
Jim Mayer. So Jim Mayer, it's Samurai Wrestling and Judo Club. I know that you just started a Facebook page because I saw you just started it, and it's got a few videos on there.
Yep.
He's asking if you have a website or maybe somewhere where he can go to maybe see your time, see your hours, see your
The hours should be on the Facebook. I have not started a website yet, but the hours should be on the Facebook. If not, as soon as we get done here, I'm going to update that.
Yeah, and I'll tag. I think I tagged you on when I posted the artwork just to announce you. But Jim, when I get off here, I'll try and tag his Facebook page. It is beta. It just started, so it only has a few videos and pictures right now. But I'm sure as he goes and as he produces more stuff. But you can also go to his personal page. You can kind of see what he's done. Pretty cool stuff. But I mean, I guess what are your plans here? I mean, you opened up Samurai Wrestling and Judo Club. What part of Tampa?
To West Tampa.
West Tampa.
Howard and 275.
Tell us, are you doing? Is it, for example, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6 it's wrestling. Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 8 it's judo, or is it incorporating? Are you doing kind of a judo wrestling mix where you're incorporating a little?
So we're gonna practice them separately, but we're gonna mix them both. We're gonna do wrestling Monday, Wednesday, and Friday because and we're gonna do wrestling Tuesday, Thursday. And I was gonna say we're gonna do Monday or wrestling a little bit more than judo because the goal is to make their wrestling better. Wrestling is the primary sport for me, and it is in the United States in general. And like, we're going to compete in judo too. Like, I want to take the kids and compete in judo, but at least starting going forward, it's going to be, primary wrestling. So we're going to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday wrestling, little kids 3 to 4, high schoolers 4 to 5:30, and then Tuesday, Thursday judo, same times, same time.
Are you looking like Coach Thomas says, hey, come do a free clinic with our kids. Let them know you're in town, whatever. You'll probably get some business there too, right? But you also help their kids out. But are you? I know you don't want to do free clinics all the time because obviously that takes up time. But right now, when you're building your brand, those are great. So if there's coaches out there right now that want to bring you in for maybe a weekend and let you work with the kids, or on the other hand, are you available to be paid to come in and do coaching clinics and things like that?
Yeah, I'm definitely available to be paid and come do coaching clinics and stuff like that. And I definitely am going to try to, at least in the Tampa Bay area, get around and get to some practices for some other high school. I feel like that's going to be a little easier when the summer rolls around because of time and schedules when I'm doing my club and stuff like that. But I definitely am available to do seminars, clinics, whenever. And like I said, I'm going to try to get out and visit all the different rooms in the Tampa Bay area here soon.
That's awesome. Hey, so Mr. Maldonado said, ask him about Norman Gaylon's debut. I believe he fights in June.
He fights in June, and it's he's fought. Norm is 3-0 right now, and if you don't know Norman, he fights for Kaizen, and he was a wrestler for Riverview High School, and then he wrestled down there at Florida Gulf Coast, and he's coming a long way. I train Bang Muay Thai with him every night there at Kaizen, and he's in there putting in the work, and he's 3-0. We're gonna try to make it 4-0. I know on Friday after the high school practice, we're gonna do some him and I do an adults practice at 6 after that a lot of jiu-jitsu and MMA guys come to, and we're gonna do some cage stuff.
Where's he fighting?
I'm not sure where the venue is. But it's June 5th, I believe.
Could it be the Alabama Fighting Championship?
Mm-mm.
Because I
Still
know
am.
because June 5th there's an AFC. I have some of their guys on, and they got a great venue out there, Alabama Fighting Championships. If you ever want to get some of your guys or girls on their card, let me know. I'll get you hooked up with the promoter. He does a great job out there.
Okay. I've never even I haven't heard about that. See, I'm just getting back into like all the local scenes of the promotions and stuff like that.
Yeah, I got lucky to be introduced to him by Coach Donnie up there at CFWA because he fought on one of the cards. And I'm trying to, I transitioned where I'm working now again back in real estate. So I'm trying to get used to my time, but he's asked me to do some interviews again for this card. So I just had, the promoter's actually fighting on the card this time too. So
Oh, nice.
I had him on. But yeah, if you ever want to get any of your guys or girls out there on that card, they're growing, including Galone. I'm sure he would love to have him. He's doing
Yeah.
good there. But man, so Samurai Wrestling and Judo Club. So mostly afternoons and evenings now. Obviously after school evenings, you're doing adult stuff. And are you doing privates? Like if somebody wants to, I see kids and parents out there where they'll post, privates where they're doing MMA or jujitsu or kickboxing.
Yeah, 100%. I do privates, and I really like doing privates too, because it really gives you a chance not just to get better at the technique, but also to connect with your athlete and stuff like that. And it's really nice to be able to do it this way, turn your hand this way, do this that way, blah blah, blah, with one kid or one pair of kids. A lot of times.
How often do you recommend like a private? Like, in some sports, they'll say, okay, you're in a group setting and you're at practice every day, but once a week or once every other week, set up a private so we can kind of see where you're at and see what we need to do next. Is that the same with like wrestling or judo or Muay Thai or whatever it is you're teaching?
Yeah. And I mean, I know in like the martial arts community, the private lessons are huge, and in judo they're getting or sorry, in wrestling they're getting bigger. And I wish there was something like that when I was in high school, some kind of like that. It didn't exist. The only club in Tampa was the Brandon Wrestling Club, and you couldn't go if you didn't go to Brandon in that day. Now they have like the rec center thing, and I'm pretty sure anyone can go. But like there was, I went over to Sickles, and I was lucky enough to be able to go over to Jesuit too, to wrestle. But these things didn't exist. But it also depends on the parents and so on money, and of course. But like if you can do a once a week private, like it's definitely worth the money. If you find a coach that you like, or if you like their style even more, and it doesn't have to be like the head coach of your club. It could be the assistant coach, the college kid that that is doing these cool things, or you like how their style matches up, or you like your kid likes their style. It's huge, because I'll tell you what, like I have been trading private lessons, judo for Muay Thai with this guy in Spring Hill, or it's actually in Brooksville on Highway 50. He's got a place called Primal Striking and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. His name's Joe Cortez, and he's like, I've been doing Muay Thai with him just once a week privately like that, and like I can feel myself every single time. And same thing with my like jujitsu. I trade, and I'm lucky enough to be able to trade wrestling for these other disciplines.
I think I see Joe Cortez a lot working with, I think it's him that works with the McCall family. I see Shane McCall and his son and his daughter in there. He's posting some cool stuff. And I know during quarantine, and I haven't had it. Sorry, everybody. It's terrible. Sounds bad. Sorry. But I know during quarantine, he was getting out to people's houses and kind of still keeping people involved. So yeah, if he wants to come on, man, tell him to look me up. But nice guy. Yeah, Joshua Holiday said AFC for life. So he's obviously familiar. We were talking about the wrestling, the jiu-jitsu, and the privates. Damn, I was going to ask you a question and then I lost
Well,
it.
we were talking about like how worth it is it, and I'll tell you what, it's definitely worth it to take private lessons. It's the same principle as all education, right? If you have a
Yeah.
smaller class size, the learning is better, right? And if you're one on one and you're interested, obviously, and if you're if you're doing a one-on-one lesson, let's assume that the student's going to be interested. They're going to learn it a lot faster
Right.
than in a setting of even 5 or 6.
And I was going to ask you, that's what I was going to say. You were talking about kind of the landscape of wrestling when you were coming up in high school. It wasn't as prevalent, right? Like you had a place here, a place there. Coming back to Florida, seeing the landscape now and what it's become, how far has it come, and how, what can you say about it?
I mean, I love to see the amount of clubs there or here in Florida in general now, especially in the Tampa Bay area, because I can't I'm honestly, like I said, I just got back in the country like 7 weeks ago. So I really don't know about all the great different clubs besides, the big names that there are in like Orlando and Miami, besides your Lake Island Preps and your South Days, like, of course I know they exist. But in Tampa, I think it's so cool that you got you're in the Tampa Bay area, you got your BB Train, you got your Caveman Wrestling Club, you got Tiger Wrestling Club, you got Scorpions. I hope I'm not leaving anybody out.
It's
But
not personal.
yeah, exactly. But I mean, I love it, and if we can get wrestling to grow in general, it's going to be better for everyone.
Yeah, really getting Florida on the map, right?
100%.
So how do people get in touch with you, Patrick? Like if they want to come out to your club now, or they want to hit you up because they have questions, or they want you to come to their club, or they want private lessons for their team or their kids, how can they get a hold of you?
They can contact me either through my Facebook or the club's Facebook or my Instagram or the club's Instagram.
Yeah,
sure.
You and I have been speaking right through private message. So
yeah, and I got my phone with me. I tend to, I also like to stay on top of my own training. Like I'm trying to get, like I said, I'm doing the private lessons of Muay Thai on top of the Muay Thai I train. I trade jiu-jitsu lessons with a guy, or for wrestling with a guy named Dan Martinez, and he's I would say arguably, but I'd say pretty much the best jiu-jitsu competitor in all of Tampa Bay right now. And but if I'm not doing something like that, I also write for a jiu-jitsu blog. I teach English online.
are you keeping yourself busy?
Yes, I like to stay busy for sure. If not, I'm just staring at the wall and I'm like, I gotta do something.
Well, that's awesome, man. I'll have to bring my boys down to see you sometime. I got a 15-12-year-old. I know they like getting out and about. So for the most part, they've been the big one's kind of focused. He's been going every day to club and weight training, and he's getting better, little by little.
Yeah, I mean, that's little by little. Exactly. 1% better every day. Correct a little detail, get a little stronger.
I mean, it's kind of easier now because I have another 12-year-old. When Daniel started at 12, we didn't know anything, we just whatever, right? But now when the 12-year-old is constantly getting his ass kicked, at least we both can look at him and be like, we know. Yeah, like Daniel's like, I know, I've been through that.
Yeah, I mean, you really gotta go through that stage, and especially in wrestling, but in all combat sports. And I coach this kid. He wrestles heavyweight at Kaizen now. I coached him at Chamberlain. His name is Ernest Johnson. And Ernest couldn't do a forward roll the first day I stepped into the Chamberlain wrestling room. And if you go on my Instagram and you scroll down from right before I moved to Brazil, I have a video of him almost doing a backflip.
Wow.
Coming this close to landing a backflip at like 290 pounds. So,
Oh,
yeah. So, so that's Ernest honestly proved to me that I don't know, no matter how good a kid is or how athletic you think they are, whatever the first day on the mat, it doesn't have anything to do with what they can be with even just a year or two of really hard work.
yeah.
You know,
Is he still at Kaiser?
yeah, he's still no, not at he wrestles at Kaiser.
Yeah, Kaiser University.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry, I thought you said
Yeah,
Kaiser.
I was gonna say they just got a awesome coach at Nick Soto.
Yeah, I've known Nick Soto. I wrestled on the Disney Duels team for Springstead High School, and Nick Soto was like in 7th grade. I remember on our team, and he was like just mashing like high schoolers as a seventh grader and 8th grader. So like, I'm super happy for Nick, and I'm super happy for Kaiser having him. He's going to be a great coach. But yeah, Ernest is still there at Kaiser, and he'll be back for the summer on Friday when me and Quan, Coach Leggett there. We've already been talking to Ernest and then talking among ourselves about how we're going to work in the summer.
That's awesome. Yeah, everybody I've talked to said it's just what a great move for Kaiser to bring someone like that back home to Florida, and he's just what a great guy, great coach. So yeah,
Mhm.
good for them. Obviously we know SEU just got a new coach and he's planning to do big things. But Nick Soto, I've known, he's been on the show. I've met him in person a couple times. So good for him, and good for your heavyweight because that's a good coach. And
Yeah, no,
starting to
I'm very
see
happy.
you're already starting to see them. He's already marketing Kaiser. You can see him doing the practices and the lessons, like stuff that I really hadn't seen. I've seen from other places, but
I've seen an immediate change.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, good for him. Well, yeah, man, I'll have to be in touch. I'll private message you. I'll send you my number and everything, and we'll have to
Please
stay
do.
in touch. And yeah, man, anytime you're doing any events or anything, if you want to come on, feel free, hit me up. We'll do it. If you want me to come
I'd
out
love
to
to.
your gym and go live and show what you're doing there, I'm down, man. Just let me know.
Please, anytime. You're welcome anytime.
All right, man. Well, I'm gonna eat my cold pasta now. It was warm when I brought it up here, but I want to knock this out. This was way better than eating my pasta. I had so much fun and meeting you. And obviously, you got fans, man. You got friends. People are obviously remember you and know who you are. And
No, I'm lucky enough that I coached. I was head coach at Chamberlain for a few years before I went to Brazil, and then after college, before I had moved to Spain, I coached for a year at Jesuit. So I don't know, I'm a social guy. I've met a lot of,
yeah,
and I've been around. I always trained a lot in different places, so I know a lot of coaches, and I'd like to think I've made a good impression at least, and and I'm lucky enough to have so many good Florida coaches like Coach Quan calling you up and asking you to have me on, and Coach Joyce over here commenting that I'm be good for Tempe and stuff like that. That those sort of things.
yeah. Anybody out
Mean
there?
the world to me.
Yeah, just private message him if you want him to come out or you want to just talk to him. You want to get the hours of his club, whatever you need. Just private message him. I mean, he hit me back pretty quickly. So,
Yeah,
I mean, unless he's on the mat, he'll hit you back up.
exactly.
All right, brother, man, this has been great. I really appreciate you coming on.
And I appreciate you having me on. It was a lot of fun.
Great night. And I look forward to getting down there and getting to meet you in person.
Perfect. Well, we'll set it up. We'll keep in touch and we'll figure it out.
Yeah, you can let your dog back in the room now.
He's in here. He's laying down now because he got neutered the other day. So
Oh yeah,
he's got the cone of shame on still.
I'd be laying down too. All right, brother, you take it easy, man. Feel free to share this with whoever you want.
I definitely will. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.